about them that they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys,
that's a tough way to cut it.
Hey, so we are back with another video, and John and I have a lot of talks like this all the time. So we figured that we would kind of invite y'all in to this conversation where we talk about his experience dating a black woman. And if you want to see the reverse of this, so my experience dating a white guy,
let us know. Just drop some comments
and like this video.
Right.
If
I think we need to do some
200 likes.
500 likes, 200 likes.
200 likes, and then we'll do the reverse of this. Yeah. So, me and John talked about this a little bit, but like the conversation was getting so good, I was like, wait. Yeah. Let's just. So, John. Oh,
if y'all don't know, like this is both of our first time dating interracially. Interethnically. Thank you, baby. It's our first time dating interethnically in this arrangement.
Yes.
Not really at all, but
yeah,
definitely white male, black woman.
Yeah. And I do want to say this before we get started. If you are one of them fetishy people who be like, oh my God, girl, how'd you snag a white guy? Or, to John, white dudes, how'd you get a black? This ain't what that is.
Right.
The comments that I get that's anything close to that, I delete that because that's just stupid. You fall in love with a person. You marry the person that you feel like God is saying, yes, this is the person, this is the right now. It really ain't got nothing to do with,
right.
They
not that there's anything wrong with having preferences. You can,
but a lot of people's preferences is a prejudice, and it's just masquerading as
correct, definitely. But I think it's like unhealthy to say like don't like certain people just because they're that way. I don't know. If
you like that certain people just because they are a certain skin type, tone, ethnic group, that's an issue. There's
definitely some stuff under the ground that you need to work through.
Especially if that whatever isn't like what you are, right? Because it's like I have always admired black men. My dad is a black man. My uncles, guess what? They black men.
Are your friends?
My friends, my road dogs, black men. So I honor black men, and I cherish them, and I lift them up. So I love black boy joy, all of that. So I just wanted to be clear about that. This is not one of those fetishy videos where it's like, oh my God, how did you get a white guy and vice versa? That's
6
stupid.
steps to get a black woman to fall in love with you.
Nah, we ain't. This came to the wrong channel if that's what you thought this was about to be.
Right.
So with that out the way, I do want to say that I love this man, and I am so glad that we get to do life together. And it's not a perfect situation, y'all. He works me right here, and I work him as well. Sometimes I don't always feel loved, and I don't always feel supported, and I don't always feel this, and the third. But the sum total of our marriage is very beautiful. It's very life-giving. It's very sacrificial. It's very just all of that. So with that being said, why did you decide to take the risk and date me? We ain't talking about marriage yet. We just talking about date me.
Yeah. It wasn't like there was never a thing of a conquest or like I want to date a black girl before I get married. It was never that, because I'm sure that's people's questions. Like, how did you was this?
That was one of my questions. I was like, don't fetishize me. I ain't your little play toy.
Right. So it was never that. I had a crush on Jená going back to high school. Like, we knew each other in high school, and I had a crush on her way back then just because I thought she was beautiful. Back in high school, I hung out with mostly white guys, and we would always joke about...
you still hang out with mostly white guys now.
And we would always talk about it. Who's the prettiest black girl? And then, I was always champion Team Jená. There was other black girls who got other people's attention, but I was always just like, Jená's just the prettiest girl in school.
Black or white?
Black or white. And
okay.
Jená and I actually had a class together, Honors Algebra 2, and I can remember sitting in that class and being like, this is the cutest girl in this class, this is the next cutest girl, and it was white, black, Asian girls, it was all that. And Jená was at the top of the list. But back to the question at hand. What made me okay? What was the question? What made me okay with dating?
The question was, what made you take the risk of dating a black girl?
I guess I knew how beautiful you were, and I knew how fun you were, how funny you were.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, obviously at that point, yeah, you're right. We had been hanging out.
Well, I mean, even before then, like from high school.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that you were fun. Like, we bumped into each other on campus. I knew going into it, you had a nice personality.
But that ain't enough to take the risk. That ain't enough to be like, I'm
going into
okay.
it. I was ignorant to the mixed dating woes, which is foolish because we grew up in the South, Memphis, where like racism and prejudice is very prevalent.
So, question. Okay, y'all, this is a conversation. So questions might pop up, and so just roll with us. Question. So, are you saying before you got into a relationship with me, you were ignorant to, like, you thought racism was gone?
No, that's not at all what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that
you didn't think it was
I didn't think it was as perverse throughout everything as it is.
Okay.
I knew racism was still alive and well.
Okay. So
I guess I'm saying, like, the benefits of, I knew you were fun, I knew you were beautiful, I had a crush on you for 6 years at that point, far outweighed if there was any inkling of she's black and this might be tough. Mm-hmm. Because in fairness, at first I wasn't even looking for a relationship. Mm-hmm. I just thought Jená was cool and I wanted to hang out with her.
Right.
And we broke up over this, or we like stopped talking over this because Jená asked me like,
Negro, I cut you off. I was like, what? You like me? You just kissed me. You don't what? Nah, don't fetishize me. So like,
Jená asked me at one point like, could you ever seriously date a black girl? And I just immediately was like, nope.
Y'all, he didn't hesitate.
I didn't hesitate, but it wasn't. I've told Jená this time and time again, and I can understand why it's hard to believe. Because I didn't want to date anybody. I was shutting down relationships.
But I didn't say anybody. I said...
You said me. But before you said, could you seriously date?
Okay, your brain...
I was already at no. And then when I said no, and I was like, I just said I could never date a black girl, like, that definitely did not come out okay. It's not okay to say that.
I just wanted everything to be clear. Like, yeah. You the one that you wanted to hang out with me. You the one that kissed me. You the one that was like kind of courting me. Mm-hmm. You the one that was like, let's go here, let's do this, let's go hiking, let's go to the mountains. I'm like, okay, hiking. I can learn something new. So like, I'm having fun. I'm like, no, what you want? You camping? So it's like, I'm having fun, but I noticed that I started to like you, and I was just like, okay, what am I going to do with these feelings? At the same token, I wasn't trying to date because I was still like, months out from my past situation. I just wanted to be whole and focus on track and focus on my schoolwork. So when I noticed that my feelings was growing, I wanted to be real and honest about what was happening. And so I was just like, could you seriously date a black girl? Because you ain't about to waste my time.
I'm not here for the games.
I'm not here for the games. You ain't about to waste my time. I date for marriage. I don't play around. I'm not in these streets.
Right.
What's happening?
And so that was a point of like back and forth with us for a long time, because I would be like, I want to be with you, but I don't want to be in a relationship. But I want us to be together, but I don't want to be in a relationship. And every time like that would come to it, I was like, no, like I would fight for you, for us to stay with whatever the heck we had. I would fight for it to stay continuous. Okay,
so what I heard you say was you decided to risk dating a black girl. Your first time dating a black girl was because I was fun, I was funny, I was interesting, and in your mind, some level of naivete, you weren't really thinking about the color that much. If that is the case, then why was I your first? If you was kind of like, I'm pretty sure there were other black girls that were fun, that were funny, that were smart, all of those things. and you still would have had the same, naive feelings around racism or prejudice being so perverse. So then why me then? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think part of that is you were elevated above other women, other black women, other white women, other Asian women. You were elevated above. Like I said, I had this crush on you.
He trying to mac right now. I'm listening though. I was elevated.
So fine, athletic,
okay,
intelligent.
I ain't gonna argue with you.
It had something about you. And at the same time, I knew God was putting us together. Now I know God was putting us together.
Okay, I was about to say at the time.
At the time, no.
I was about to say you tripping. Come on.
I know that God was putting us together.
Okay.
So, partially it was divine providence. Mm-hmm. A lot of it was you were the bee's knees.
Okay.
And I was like, nah, look. We had bumped into each other a couple times on campus, and I had said it. I said, let's hang out. Mm-hmm. But this time, we actually did something about it.
Okay. So then that brings me to...
This is so funny, just to wonder like how this one's mind is working.
So this brings me to the question of, out of all of the girls, women that you've dated, obviously I'm the only black one. Mm-hmm. All of them, most of them was white, the Asian girl, whatever. What have you noticed culturally that has been different? Like, what would you say the difference between dating a black woman and a white woman is for you? And I understand that some of this is going to be from like your perspective, your life. Like, you are a white male that's grown up in the deep South. So I understand that your experiences are just going to be yours, and you can't necessarily generalize, but for the sake of right now, we're going to generalize.
I think culturally, I think black women are more forward, more real, more genuine, like aren't about to mess around and play the games. Okay.
And you're saying from your experience,
from my experience,
from black and white.
This is also tinted by like.
Is that a black woman thing, or is it just a Jená thing?
Yes, and also at the same time, like my previous relationship, I was very immature. It was high school and college, early college.
Fair.
Very immature, very sheltered.
Okay.
Because it was high school, college, home, very narrow scope. Mm-hmm. Problems of adulthood and like so much. Independence, just adulting, having a business, like all of that has introduced so much more than just the casual conversations that went on back then. But also I think it would be foolish to say that it was all due to that and not partially because there wasn't a degree of depth to the relationships.
What are you saying? I'm confused. So you're saying that...
I'm saying the relationships that I had previously weren't deep.
Okay.
But I think part of that is because of what we've been through together versus the limited amount of things that I went through with previous girlfriends.
That just so happen to be white.
Okay. So I think in general, I've noticed, not just through us, that other black women, I've consumed a lot more black media since we've been together.
Yes.
Than I had previously. I'm around a lot more black men and black women, interracial couples. And I think that black women have had to deal with a lot more than black men, white women, white men.
Okay.
I feel like, one, you're a woman, two, you're black.
Right.
So it's stacked.
Right.
So you're already having to deal with a lot of issues in society. And so you're not about to add a relationship that's foolish and messy.
Some of us do, y'all. I'm praying for you, sis. I'm praying for you,
But I think that that's part of it. Culturally, like, I've always been eclectic with musical taste, but you've introduced me definitely to a lot more like R&B than I ever liked before.
I'm an R&B girl.
Like, I listen to more hip hop.
See, I done it all, and frankly, girl, I'm tired of this emptiness. I want to go home to you and only you.
That's funny. I was about to send Jená a little like love song the other day.
No, you did send it to me.
I know. Well, I was about to send her a love song the other day because we were in a little tiff. And,
oh, that's what you want to call it. Yeah, I would call it.
And I was about to send you that, home is wherever I'm with you. But I was like,
I like that song too.
I know you like that song, but I was like, I want it to be a more genuine song. So I sent her, I know Jagged Edge speaks to Jená's soul. So
Forever.
I sent her, Let's Get Married. And I was like, all right, I'm going to step it up a notch. Let me put some R&B in it. So all that being said, is, I think culturally, like, we have a lot of stuff in common. We enjoy a lot of fun movies, but we also are very different in our media consumption, musical taste, art taste, movie taste. It's very different.
So you're saying...
But we find common ground there.
But for you dating a black woman, you're saying that the differences that you've noticed culturally is that from entertainment and media to you feel like black women are more real and genuine. But you're saying that with the asterisk, like from your experiences with me and what you've observed from the other black women that you're now around, part of that is because I'm black, but the biggest part is because it's just...
No, I would say it's split. Like, I would definitely say you are the most introspective person that I know.
This week's new subby shout out goes to William Powell and Alicia Davis. Thank you so much for being a part of our tribe. If you would like to be featured, leave a comment below letting us know that you're new.
So I definitely say that you are the most introspective person that I've ever known. Huh. So it's not just because you're black that we have a lot of depth to our relationship.
Okay.
It's because of who you are. Okay. There's a lot of soul-searching, deep dive that you constantly do and that you challenge me to that I think would not be present to the level that it is with most black women.
Okay.
Thing is, like, white woman, in my experience, black woman other than you. Like, you're off the screen charts.
As it relates to communication?
As it relates to communication and self-reflection and wanting to know why behind things.
So you're saying in your experience you think black women are more introspective?
Yeah. I think black women are more introspective. I think what's the way to put it? I just think black people have been through more in America than white people have.
Okay.
And I think that as a result, white people have gotten by with more surface level talk all of their life. Okay. As a generality. Okay. Than black people have.
Okay, it's in general, okay.
Than black people have. I know me personally, like, my family is very surface level, and I'm not saying that all white families are like that. Okay. But my family was, and the folks that I grew up around were.
When you say surface, break that down just a little bit more.
Just talks that are, like, not deep. Like, this happened today, this is the weather, sports, movies, who are you talking to, who are you hanging out with, and not like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all doing when y'all go to this person's house? Like, how do you feel about that your sister is getting married? Like, we didn't talk about feelings much. Okay. We didn't talk about the reasons why, and we didn't analyze societal stuff. And I think that black people, since they have lived a more dramatic, maybe is not the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use, less sheltered, let's put it that way, a less sheltered life, there has been a requirement for black people to have to self-reflect and go through their emotions and process things, process life. Like, I've heard it said that most black people in America have some degree of PTSD because of the experiences that you've gone through in life.
And I do want to say this, but in no way is John saying that black people are better than white people and the reverse.
Not at all.
I just wanted to, because people, they be reaching, they be in the comments reaching.
Folks are reaching.
He's just explaining his experience, even though he made like a general statement. It's still a general statement from his perspective and his family, of the level of introspection. Right. He's not saying one group of people is better than the other. He's just...
No, I would prefer more people to be introspective.
Correct.
I understand why people are not.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some research the other day about people would rather not sit in their own thoughts. They would rather be distracted and entertained by media.
That's real. That's real. Because when I'm upset and I'm sad, I'll put on Netflix because I don't want to have to think about what's making me sad.
Mm-hmm. So I think people in general, that wasn't a black or white study. That was a
people study.
People study.
Okay. Well, then let me flip it. So you told me what you think is different. What do you feel like is the same black woman versus the white women that you dated?
This is kind of a difficult question to answer because my life with you and with Jesus at the forefront is so different than my life in the past.
So it's hard for you to say stuff that's similar?
It's hard to compare.
Follow that. Why is it hard? Follow that thought. Why is it hard to compare?
It's hard to compare just because I'm happy now. I'm happy now. You make me happy. I'm happy with Jesus. I'm overall, like, I was very down a lot throughout my life. And with Jesus and with you, like, I'm not. I'm happier.
So there's no similarities that you can...
No, that's not true at all. I'm just saying that
it's a difficult question.
It's tough to analyze.
Okay.
I think, like, you always get around other couples,
mm-hmm.
and they say, oh, my wife does the same thing, or oh, my husband is just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of common, and that's black or white.
Right.
I think there's a lot of commonalities, especially in relationships,
mm-hmm.
between the male-female dynamic.
Mm-hmm. But for you specifically?
But for me specifically, it's a hard comparison to make.
Okay.
Because it's just such a different lens to look through to compare the two. Like, I have, like, this negative perspective of, like, most of my life. Like, looking back on it from my current state.
Okay.
Looking back on it, like, I did things that were good. I had happy moments. I had friends. I had friendships. I had good family, loving family. Like, I was in church. But, like, I look back on it now with a negative view versus, like, the lens that I look through with life now is so much of a better, hue to it.
I feel like I understand what you're saying. But at the same time,
it's not an answer.
Right. It's like, in your mind, it's like Happy John versus Sad John. Like, mm-hmm. Sad John dating white girls, Happy John dating a black woman.
Right.
So it's like...
It's not difficult to make the comparison. But it's like, it's just this underlying tone to the perspective. My perspective with you is so much different from my perspective with them. I had fun with those other girls. We laughed. I think we enjoyed a lot of the same music more than I do with you.
Okay. Well, then this is the next question.
I'm still talking.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of, like, people want to have fun. They want to feel loved.
Yes.
They want to go through and have new experiences with people. They mm-hmm. want to try new foods. They want to try new music, movies, go new places, travel. Like, I think that's the same. People want to feel loved with whoever they're with.
Okay.
People want to experience new things, live life, and discover more and what else there is. And they want to do it with those that they love and care the most about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the same.
White, black, from your experience.
White, black, yeah. That's definitely the same.
Okay. So then, can I go to my next?
Yeah.
So then that takes me to the question. Now that you're in this place, you've not only dated a black woman, you have married a black woman. Mm-hmm. What challenges would you say that you have faced or facing in our marriage that you wouldn't face if you were married to a white woman?
Certainly looking at society around us, especially with the past few years of, like, police brutality, mm-hmm. Black Lives Matter, President Trump, President Obama, like, things have racially heightened in culture.
Okay, so
how does that directly affect us? I feel like with you, we have these talks about race, we talks mm-hmm. about our children, talks about communities and why things are the way that they are.
Mm-hmm.
and I have definitely looked at how can I be a better husband, how can I be a better father whenever that time comes, how can I be a better friend in terms of these racially heightened times, and just in general. How can I be more sensitive and more understanding? I know that I wouldn't have, I think I know that I wouldn't have had that same, like I know my heart, but I know that going through the personal experiences that we've gone through together has really, really expedited the process.
Yeah. Can I interject?
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: when John and I first started dating, he got a front row seat to see me, a black woman, the only black woman in my grad program, what I had to face. He had a front row seat to that. He had a front row seat to my emotions and how it messed with me. Like, he had a front row seat to that. Had he not been in a relationship with me and actually had compassion upon me, then he wouldn't have believed it. Had we not been in a relationship and us walking down the street and hear people yell out to me, "You must be with him for the money." We like, what money? we both going to the plasma clinic getting plasma trying to eat. So it's like, had he not lived this with me, he would have thought that I was faking, that black people were faking, or it wasn't.
It's not that serious. You're blowing it out of proportion. That's what I hear a lot from white folks. You're making a big deal out of it. It's not really that bad. You're too sensitive.
So you think the good person inside of you wants to say that you would be down for the cause still.
Yeah.
But you think.
But I know that it wouldn't have happened as quickly if it happened at all. I can't say with certainty that it would have happened at all.
Right.
I can't.
So,
I know that I have a genuine heart, but I also think there's a lot of ignorant people out there who love deeply and are good people. I think they're good people to the people that they care about and that they love, and they just don't have loved ones that don't look like them. So I think, going through things that we've been through, being told I'm a disgrace, like seeing you go through grad school, that sort of things definitely is a quick eye opener to the reality and the prevalence of racism
and prejudice. Because I think a lot of people who have racist tendencies and who believe racist things, it ain't like when they see a black person on the street, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you go to the color only drinking fountain." That's not. Right. We got to bring racism to the what's going on now, 2019, 2020. It don't look like that. It doesn't.
It still does.
Some places it does, but like this millennium racism, it looks different. This millennium prejudice, it looks different. Like, right.
It's a lot of the underlying undertones.
Right. Like I'm living with my in-laws, with his parents. Like I go walking around the neighborhood often. It's a white community. One morning I went walking, and this person basically stopped to look at me in their side mirrors to see what I was doing. And then like kept on driving. Like they weren't looking down, because you know how sometimes you drive and you get out your house and you're like, oh God, something fell on the ground, so you stop the car trying to pick something up. No, you're looking at me.
Right.
You're looking at me through your side mirrors, trying to see where I'm walking to. So it's like, whoever is their neighbor, I've known whoever for a long time. They're good people. Yeah, they're a good person, but they got some stuff in their heart that ain't right.
Right.
They love, like you said, they are love and very compassionate to the people that they know, but
right. They make assumptions based on the generalities, and they have stereotypes in their mind. They have biases. Even in that situation that Jená was explaining to me, I was trying to explain her out of it.
But look, and this is what I said to him, because when I was telling him, I told him like a week or so after it happened, and I was like, but I know if I told a white person that they would be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. He probably dropped something, and like he was like, oh my God, Jená, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, like as the story went on, I was like, okay, this was obviously racially motivated, but at the beginning of it, I was just like,
or just a prejudice, like what is this? I've never seen this black girl in our community walking around. Who is she?
Right.
Black people, we here. Like I'm on my way to work. We might, unless you just look crazy,
right.
We might be like, what's happening? We need to call the neighborhood watch.
Well, for the most part, outside, put a shirt on.
Hey, how you doing? Let me get to where I'm trying to go.
Right. So How
The challenges.
So the challenges, yeah, definitely race. Definitely race. That's a huge challenge. Obviously, that's what this video is about. White man, black woman. What
can I?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I feel like I hear you saying is the challenges that you have faced in our marriage that you know that you wouldn't necessarily face if you were married to a white woman is that you do have to consider a lot of things. Right. That's a challenge for you. You have to consider your kid. You have to consider my well-being. You have to consider those things to a different degree, you know.
Like as a husband or father, you would obviously consider your wife's well-being or make sure that your kids are okay. But there's definitely different things that you have to take into account when you're thinking about, okay, my children are mixed, right? Perceived by most people as black. Like that, you know, how do I handle that? You know, a 13-year-old black boy playing with a sword, plastic sword out in the street, gets shot. Okay, I played with plastic swords, right?
So your mind just goes to a different level of like protection,
right? And it goes to a different level of protection, and it goes to a different level of like, how do I change things? Not just like fix the world,
right?
But how do I change perspective around me in my sphere of influence?
Okay, well then, can I go to the? Okay, let it come to this point. So, what would you say is the best thing about being married to a black woman, right? You. And B, me, because it's like it's so woven together that I know sometimes it's just like, is this a black thing or is this a Jená thing?
Yeah, that's very
so. Right. What's the best thing about it that you didn't anticipate, that you never thought that, man, this is amazing?
I think being able to see life through a different lens.
Oh yeah,
is amazing.
It is.
Being able to get out of my shoes and see life through yours or our children's, that's incredible. The experiences that we have and the newness of everything.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love that things really don't ever get boring. Yeah. And this is kind of where it blurs the lines.
Yeah.
Because I could be with a black woman who is identical to me, and we like watching football, playing video games, going to concerts, going hiking, and there's not a challenge to reinvent yourself. Go ice skating.
Not necessarily a challenge, but it's just it's just the comfortability.
Right. So I think that's like, it gets blurry. There would still be some level of newness.
Right. Because it would still be a different culture.
It would still be a different culture.
Yeah.
But I love that the most, of being able to almost have like this fresh perspective and viewpoint on life, and really like this enhanced ability to see things differently. Like, so many people wish that they could see and understand things in like a different light, that they just can't. And I think through like everyday things, we have that. What do I love most about the fact that I'm married to you?
You don't even have to answer that, and this is why. Because we did a whole video about the 5 reasons, like not all of the reasons, but like not even the 5 top, but 5 reasons why we love each other, and I'm gonna link it there. So you answered that question. So if you have not seen that video, I'm going to link it right here. Okay. So I would be remiss if I didn't also ask you this. What is the least best thing or the least favorite thing about being married to A, black woman, B, Jená Emily Utley?
This is funny. So the movie Something New just comes to mind, and they're in an argument, and she's talking about, you know, the white folks at the plantation house, and he's like, can we just have a day off? He had a rough day at work. He doesn't want to deal with her stuff. She's like, I don't get any days off. That sucks. Not for me.
Yeah.
Like the hurt that goes on. That sucks.
Yeah. I ain't think you was gonna go there.
And you call me out on my stuff. And I don't dislike you for that.
But it's your least favorite thing. That's the least favorite Jená thing.
I think that's one of my least favorite Jená things.
Okay.
But I love it. You know, I love it at the same time because you require me to be a better man of my word. And do the things that I say I'm going to do. Be the person I say I'm going to be. Quit doing the things that I said I was going to quit doing. I don't really know that... I mean, like, everyone has their stuff about them that they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys,
that's a tough way to. I was gonna say, because I mean, I genuinely think like people say ignorance is bliss, and it's not, but it is.
Right.
Like being ignorant is not okay. You should want to know everything that you can know about everything.
Right.
So that you can do something about it.
Right.
But at the same time, when you are ignorant, you just don't know, and so it doesn't affect you.
Right.
It doesn't affect you, and it doesn't impact you.
Right. Like I get that. Like for us, I like to see and understand my environment, situational awareness, so I can like I don't want to be blind and ignorant to that. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you want to be. Mm-hmm. And we talked about in our inner ethnic tag, we talked about that. So I'm gonna link that video right there. But it's like it's almost like. If you are being away towards me because of the relationship that I'm in, like I would almost be like, I don't want to sense it, I don't want to feel it, I don't want to be aware of it. I just want to be in my own little bubble, in my own little happy bubble, in my own little world, right. and I'm ignorant to the mess.
Like, there's a degree of wanting to live in fantasy land.
Yes.
Right? Who wouldn't want to not have that negative reality that exists be a part of their reality?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, to just be like, oh,
to a degree.
What? Well, yeah, like what's happening? Oh no, that's not. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
So. I'm gonna keep talking. So I think that's like my. I think that's the toughest thing about being
your least favorite thing.
My least favorite thing
about being married to a black woman.
About being married to a black woman.
Okay.
Is the pain that I have to watch you go through.
And so
because also in turn the pain that I have to go through.
Yes.
But I'm also grateful for that.
Right, because it has made you a better.
Yeah, made me a better human.
Made you a more compassionate human.
Right.
Less likely or slower to judge.
Certainly. Mm-hmm. Certainly. Least favorite thing about you, I don't know.
I would say your least favorite thing about me is you say me calling you out on your stuff, and you say that like you feel like I get like upset and moody sometimes, and it's like you don't know where. I feel like that's a Jená thing that you have vocalized to me.
Yeah.
Like just give you like let you know what's going on instead of like assuming or. Yeah.
Yeah. That was just a snip of. We could talk about this for just hours. Days.
Forever.
We might have to come back and do another one. Who knows?
Like I said, get this video to 200 likes, and I will do my version of this. What it's like for me to be married to a white man. Because I haven't really even said much about my experiences this way. So thank y'all so much for watching this video. The videos that I said I'm going to link in the cards, I will also put those in the description box. Do us a huge favor. So if you have been vibing with us for some time and you really enjoy our videos, please give this channel a subscribe and share it. Something is going on. Something is always going on with the algorithm. So a lot of people who are subscribed to this channel, they're just not seeing our videos. So if you would share our videos, that would do a really good job for the algorithm to start pumping our videos and putting our videos in the people who are actually subscribed to our channels in their feeds. So we would really appreciate that. And if you would subscribe to my newsletter, every time I drop a video, I send a newsletter out to my tribe. Not only when I drop a video, but when I'm going through stuff. I'm very open and I'm very transparent with the people in my tribe and on my newsletter. So if you would subscribe to my newsletter so you can be abreast, okay, of new videos as well. We are coming back with a vlog. We're still in Memphis, still living life. Memphis treating us good. So until next time.
Love you guys. Be blessed.
Be blessed.